بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Hello everyone, this is Liquidity Club by Ahmed Shawi. Today is Sunday, the 19th of January 2025. I'll be doing the weekly market review starting with the XY. Here we have the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, price has traded up higher, taking our previous week's high, and we're pretty much in a range here. Since we're in a Bible ground, we're gonna be looking for higher prices as well. Our target is the recently created high, and we have the high of that favorite gap, which is this candle's low. This is a weekly favorite gap. If we drop down to the daily time frame chart, we have this week discount wick. We're looking at the midpoint of that wick. If price wants to respect it before running up higher, you can see how we have respected the midpoint of the of that favorite gap right there. You can see how the wicks are respecting it, and we're moving from here. This is also a daily favorite gap that we're traded towards, and pretty much price is now trading away from it. So we can think about this, that price has traded into an internal range liquidity, and now it's trading towards the external range liquidity. Although this can be wrong, and the price can next week trade open and trade down lower to take out this inside liquidity right there, relative equal lows. So we're still pretty much looking for our choices, and we're monitoring the markets closely to see how the market will pretty much trade. Just for your info, that we have a week that we have a holiday on Monday, so just to keep you informed that there's not going to be trading on Monday, which is tomorrow. So that's going to be pretty much it for DXY. Going to Euro USD, also known as the fiber. Here I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. You can see Euro USD is pushing down lower since we're in a sell program. So I'm not trying to catch the bottom here. We can continue seeing lower prices. Price can tank down lower to the low of that monthly favorite gap, or to the low of the actual weekly favorite gap. This candle's high and this candle's low right there. This is a weekly BISI. Price can trades down lower to the low of that BISI or the low of that favorite gap, which is this candle's high right there. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see the same thing is mentioned here. Price has retraced into that favorite gap, and is now it's likely that price is going to be trading down lower, taking out the sell side liquidity right there. But if you can see that we have formed sell side liquidity here, and price has swept that sell side liquidity, and price has formed the sell side liquidity here, and it has swept it right there. So here price has swept sell side liquidity twice. This is one time right there, and this is the second time. It's not likely that price is going to be pushing down lower, but we are pretty much going with the flow that we are in a sell program, and price is going to be pretty much taking down lower, because this is the premise of the higher time frame narrative. But if it, for any reason, that price can run up higher to take out this buy side liquidity before continuing down lower to take out the sell side liquidity, it's just wanting to build interest in the marketplace by trading up higher and taking out buy side liquidity here. So that's going to be pretty much it for Euro USD, or also known as the fiber. Going to Pound USD, also known as the cable. Here I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. You can see Pound USD is just pretty much tanking down lower with a strong, pretty much magnitude to the downside. It's wanting to attack the sell side liquidity right there. We formed a CB here. You can see a favorite gap between this candle's low and this candle's high. Price might retrace up higher here to build some interest before trading down lower and trading to the sell side liquidity. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see this is the weekly favorite gap, and we have a daily favorite gap right there as well. Price can run up higher towards these favorite gap before running down lower to the sell side liquidity. But we're still in our narrative, we're still looking for lower prices. So that's going to be pretty much it for Pound USD, or also known as the cable. Going to ES, here I'm viewing the continuous contract and I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, ES is pretty much in a consolidation here, going to next year. Since mid-November, we've entered into a consolidation. I'm not expecting much of ES and NQ at the moment. You can see you're going to the daily time frame chart. Price is just going back and forth here. We've taken out the sell-side liquidity and reached to this favorite gap, and price has retraced up higher to this last price range, this favorite gap, this CB right there. Well, going to next week, I'm expecting price to retrace into this favorite gap. I'm including the wick because there's volume imbalance right there. There's volume imbalance, you have to include the wicks as well. So I'm expecting price to retrace down lower here. How we trade here will determine if we're going to be reversing from here to the upside, or we'll continue running down lower to the sell side liquidity. but my low hanging fruit is this 70 gap right there. So that's gonna be pretty much it for ES. Going to NQ here, I'm viewing the continuous contract and I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. The same thing for NQ, going to the daily time frame chart. Nothing to be mentioned about the weekly. We've taken out the sell side liquidity. We might run for the buy side liquidity here next, but there's nothing pretty much on the weekly. So I'm going to the daily. You can see how we swept the sell side liquidity right there, vertical lows, and we've traded up higher towards this heavy gap, and we've seen some reaction here. Price continued running up high. We have a small favoriting up here, small busy. Price might retrace towards it, or it might trade to the balanced price range. But as I've mentioned, there's nothing pretty much here on the indices. I'm not really interested in the indices at the moment. Although price can push down lower to the side with these relative equal lows here that I'm aiming at are pretty much where I think price is going to be running towards within the next 2 to 3 months. Actually, within the next 2 months. So I believe that's going to be pretty much it for NQ, and I think that's going to be pretty much it for this weekly review. I really hope you found this one insightful. Until I talk to you next time, be safe. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.